We're now entering the area of the Eternal Peace Light Memorial. Dedicated in 1938 on the 75th anniversary of the battle, President Franklin D. Roosevelt spoke to a massive crowd, including many aging Civil War veterans. Atop
There's the tower, Jill. That's the monument straight up there. Yeah. You see the flame at the top.
Those cannons could in fact be heard from many towns around. It is actually rumored that they could be heard as all the way up in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, there's phone.
Over time, the people of Gettysburg worked to establish a better transportation network. Public funds were used to build roads, and private companies created turnpikes. And like many other areas of the country, there were even attempts to construct a canal. To the south, the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad was chartered in 1827, with tracks laid the following year. By 1831, plans were developed to run a railroad through this area, linking the industrial centers along the Susquehanna River with Gettysburg, and extending the line southwest into Maryland to connect with the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal and the B&O Railroad. However, attempts to build this new Pennsylvania Railroad were abandoned, leaving an unfinished railroad bed and deep cuts in the landscape west of Gettysburg. After many challenges, a railroad from the east finally arrived in Gettysburg in 1858, just 5 years before the battle. However, the unfinished railroad cut west of town remained for many years and became a notable feature associated with the Battle of Gettysburg. In the 1880s, the Western Maryland Railroad was extended south into Maryland. At the same time, a new line was built from Mount Holly Springs south to Gettysburg. On March 4, 1884, the 18-mile Gettysburg and Harrisburg Railroad that you are now riding on was completed, marked by the driving of 2 golden spikes into the tracks at Oak Ridge, very close to where we are now traveling. One spike was inscribed with 1863 and the other with 1883. The year standardized time was established in the United States and Canada. The first passenger train on this track ran on April 21st, 1884, pulled by a steam locomotive called South Mountain.
Oh, yeah, going through the cross. It's what, 2.5 hours?
Waterways like this one, running through the northern and eastern portions of Adams County, flow into the Susquehanna River and the Chesapeake Bay. In the south and west, streams make their way to the Monocacy River and eventually to the Potomac. These ancient waterways
Yeah, we were there this summer.
Right behind it. Yeah. That's good.
Can you tell me what you were saying up there?
So the fighting in Gettysburg was not the only fighting that happened in Pennsylvania. Fighting happened as far north as Carl Island and Gettysburg, and as far east and west as Hanover and Columbia. Now, whenever the Confederates arrived at Hanover, Hanover was like, we don't want any trouble, take what you want. Columbia, on the other hand, saw the Confederates coming. They knew the Confederates, found out the Confederates want to use their covered bridge to get to DC a little bit faster. So a fine group of Union supporters grabbed their finest book of matches and burned that bridge to the ground. The Confederates, seeing a smoldering pile of ash, realized they needed a new route, and they sent troops to scout out the sleepy town of Gettysburg.
Looks like it's getting windy. They were right. Oh yeah, but what was the day before yesterday? I went out to sit in the deck and the sun reached low. I thought it's gonna be nice sitting out here in the sun. It was windy. I went right in the house. So would you recommend?
In the aftermath of the fighting, July 1st, 1863, casualties and mortally wounded littered the fields north and west of Gettysburg. Nearly every farm in close proximity to Gettysburg had been devastated by the fighting, including the house and farm owned by Moses McLean, a local attorney and politician. Crops were destroyed, houses and barns became makeshift hospitals, and fields were used as mass graveyards. Although the northern dead were removed to the Soldiers' National Cemetery months after the battle, the southern bodies remained for many years before being transported south. Undoubtedly, the remains of hundreds of soldiers are still buried in the fields surrounding the town. Within weeks of the battle, a massive tent hospital was established next to the railroad crossing. I need your attention for a very important safety announcement. The train is about to stop. If you are currently standing in one of the cars, please be seated. If you are walking through the train, we ask that you take your seat and secure any loose items, as items may shift while we stop. Thank you for exploring beautiful Adams County, Pennsylvania on today's excursion. We hope to see you again soon.
I'm in no hurry to get off, so I'd rather sit here.
Doesn't seem as busier. Well, you got another hour.
It's mine this year. It's my dad's. It is. Your name is on the team. It's mine. Yeah, it is. I wrote the tower.